Hello. Recently I decided to make a 3x3 piston door, but I wanted it to be special. So I put it in the walls. Yes, it is a 3x3 piston door that is hidden in an ordinary looking hillside, such as this one. And all you need to access it is either a hovel or a hoe. So yeah, let's just get into things. We can take our preferred tool here. I would personally go with a netherite shovel, or not really the hoe, I don't carry one of these around, but either tool works just fine. This is actually where the door is going to be. The question becomes how to open it. If you haven't figured it out already, we're just going to take one of these, go around here, and then find a specific block. In this case, it's the one near the poppy. So we can pave the soil there. And lo and behold, the door opens. We can go ahead and walk on through. Obviously, if this were an example, you'd put an actual secret base here, but for the purpose of this video, this small polished andesite chamber works just fine. To exit, all you have to do is step on these pressure plates, and the door opens right back up. Nice and simple. Now, I actually came up with the second design too, because the first one was not good enough. The second one's actually right here. And to activate it, you need one of these blocks. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to use the hoe for this one. As you see, it works just fine, even if it does look slightly different than the first design. And if you have noticed, these pressure plates don't actually work when the door is open. They only actually work when the door is closed. See, if I step on them, they get disconnected from the system below, and they don't actually do anything until the door is safe and closed. So now, we may exit and move on to the actual tutorial. So, these are what we're going to be building today. The one on the left, we're going to be built block by block, and I'm going to show you how to turn this one into this one. And I'm just going to give you a quick view around the entire machine. It is a 7 by 10, so it's actually a large machine, but you should be able to incorporate it just fine. And if you're going to make a secret base with a 3x3 piston door, you may as well be willing to go to these limits. Alright, let's take a quick glance at the materials before we actually continue to the tutorial. To make the base model, you'll need around a stack of redstone dust. It's redstone dust, you should be able to get a stack. 12 redstone torches, 26 redstone repeaters, 21 sticky pistons, 3 pistons, 18 observers, 11 honey blocks, 13 slime blocks, 7 transparent blocks. Slabs work fine, but other blocks like glowstone glass work just as well. 8 target blocks. You might want 3 more target blocks, and I'll explain that later. 6 droppers, or dispensers, either or works, but I recommend droppers just because they're cheaper. A block of redstone. 28 non-sticking blocks, so as long as the block doesn't stick to slime or honey, it's safe. And then a few stacks of blocks. Also, I would like to mention that the honey and slime blocks can be changed around. You could have 13 honey blocks and 11 slime blocks if you wanted to. And then to change it to this one, you do need slightly more materials. So as you can see, we need slightly more sticky pistons, but we don't need any regular pistons at all. We don't need as many observers, we need 3 less actually. We do need more blocks that don't stick to slime or honey, but it's pretty easy to come by anyways. We need 6 less transparent blocks, but slightly more honey and slime blocks. In this case, we need 1 more honey block and 2 more slime blocks. Again, this shouldn't be too hard to come by. We can get the exact amount here. As you can see, we don't need as many observers, but we do need to convert the regular pistons that would be in this door into sticky pistons that come in this door. Don't need as many transparent blocks, one more honey block, or 2 more slime blocks. These can be interchanged, doesn't matter. 8 non-sticking blocks. You also don't, if you go for the option of having the 3 extra target blocks in this door, they aren't required at all. In fact, I would discourage using them in this door. And you do need 3 blocks of choice, regardless of whether you have target blocks or not. So yeah, let's actually make this thing. These are the same materials that were in the first chest. And here's the platform we will be making it on. As you can see, it is the 7 by 10 area I mentioned earlier. The first one we're going to want to grab is our sticky pistons. As we place one here, and an observer here. Place 5 blocks here, then another 5 here. We're then going to go 1 block over and place another 5 blocks, and then only place 4 blocks in the last row. You should have something like this from a bird's eye view. Then we're going to place a block here, and then 2 blocks here. This is a lot of block placing, but this is all for the repeaters. And what these repeaters do is keep the door open. They act as a pulse extender, but because you only need a quick pulse to actually open the door. It's more of a toggle type thing, so this is just like the delay before it's toggled closed, if that makes any sense. If you do want to add more delay, it is entirely possible, but I just couldn't find a way to put it into this space, and this seemed like a pretty good amount of delay for most situations. We're going to continue on with 3 blocks and 2 observers. On top of the observer, we want redstone dust, and then 3 4-tick repeaters pointing in this direction. An observer here with the goggles facing toward the repeaters, and then we want 5 blocks in this C formation over here. 2 redstone dust on the corners, and then 3 more repeaters. Another observer. And then we're actually going to want a sticky piston. And then a block. This is going to be temporary. An observer with the goggles facing toward the front of the door. And we don't need that block anymore, so we can go ahead and get rid of it. A block here. And then a transparent block here. This, again, can be glowstone or glass. It doesn't have to be a slab. 2 redstone dust on top of each block. A piston here, and then we want a observer. No, I'm sorry. Block on its face. A repeater on top of this observer, and then another sticky piston here, and then observer with the goggles facing at the piston. You put a block here, and then another sticky piston, then an observer with the goggles facing toward the back of the door. Block here, sticky piston here, block here, and then 2 redstone dust here. We can skip 2 blocks and then place 5 blocks in a line like this, all of them with redstone dust on top. Block here, the repeater, and then 7 more blocks here. Redstone dust on top of all of these blocks. And then we're going to get our target blocks out and use 7 of them to make a line like this. The redstone torches will go on top like this. And then on top of these, we can place our sticky pistons. Now we can get our grass, face with each piston, like so. We're going to move back around to the middle of the door and place 3 droppers like this. The orientation is irrelevant. A redstone block here, and then a target block here. Redstone torch on top of the block. Then we're going to put a block above it. Redstone torch on the side. Another block, another redstone torch. The third block, the third redstone torch. Then the final block, final redstone torch. We're going to have this diagonal of 4 blocks here. A piston, then an observer, 2 blocks, then another 3 blocks here. And then all of these will be redstone dust. Finally, we will have 3 droppers like this. So here comes the point where I talk about the target blocks. So because these blocks are going to be part of the tunnel, if you want your tunnel to be made out of like transparent blocks, like slabs for example, then this design here won't work because the center dropper will not be powered by the redstone. So if these are going to be transparent blocks, then you need to have 3 additional target blocks above the droppers, and that will fix it. I don't need that though, so I'm just going to keep them as solid blocks. Now we're going to actually make the door to this machine. So we go down here, and then we put 3 observers face down, along with 3 sticky pistons. Then we get our slime and honey blocks. And then we create sort of 3x3 wall like this with vertical stripes. They can be switched around if you have slime blocks in the middle and honey on the outside. But I prefer it with the slime blocks on the outside, so I'm going to do it this way. Coming off of this, we have 2 slime blocks, then two more honey blocks. So we have this kind of T formation on the side. We can then get blocks of our choice from here. Then grass, 6 grass blocks here. You can go around the back. And then we put 3 upwards facing observers, 3 sticky pistons, and then 6 honey blocks. And also 3 slime in the middle. So if you have your slime blocks on the outside like this, you want the back of it to look like this. But if your slime blocks are on the inside, then you want your slime blocks to be on the outside. So you just don't want these to be the same block. That's actually the majority of it done. We just have one last little mechanism we need to do. Then we can get to placing the blocks. So we want an observer here with the goggles facing into this observer. An observer facing into this observer, then a downwards facing observer. We'll get our 3 regular pistons, place them here. And then some transparent blocks. They have to be transparent. And place them here. I'm sorry. We want repeaters here. And then redstone dust on top of all of this. These 3 in particular must be transparent. I don't actually think this part matters, but I like it with transparency. So now all the redstone is actually completed. As it is right now, it can function. If we do a quick test by putting a button on this repeater, this is your input. Wait, hold on. One more thing. We gotta close the door first. So to do that, we're gonna take our redstone block, put it here, and then destroy it. Put it here, then destroy it. It's a little finicky, but you can get it in the end. If the door does break, you can usually just replace and break the redstone block, and it normally fixes itself. But that shouldn't happen too often with the precautions we put in place. So now if we press the button, we can see that the door actually opens up and we get ourselves our flat pathway. Then after the set duration, it will close back up again. And if we do that again, we can watch it in action. So you see, the first thing it does is actually spit out this block. And that is to ensure that the door cannot be activated again while it's moving around. So yeah, now comes the part where we simply have to place the immovable objects. Starting from the top, we're going to go 6 blocks down like this. Then 3 blocks along the top. 6 more on this side. Did I miss one? Yep. 1 more there. A block here. 3 here. And then 4 on either side over here. So now, any other block that you place to create your tunnel is fair game. You can make it immovable, movable. It can be grass, it can be dirt, it can be any block you want. But these blocks here cannot stick to the slime blocks, and that's simply just to ensure that it doesn't break any of the surrounding redstone or mess up the look of your tunnel. And yeah, that's actually it. This door is complete. That's the tutorial. What we do, we just put these all back. We can continue on to the conversion process, turning this door into that door. And to do so, we can go back and reference our book and see that we need 3 more sticky pistons and a few other little mushroom gears. So I'm just going to quickly grab those. Alright, so I'm back, and with the blocks we need to convert the door. The first thing we can do is take out this mechanism in the middle. We will not be needing it for this design. And then we can go ahead and place in the immovable objects. We want 3 here, so that we have these kind of arches, and then 2 more on top. So we have like an H with a really thick midline. We can come around the top, 3 blocks here. The transparency does not matter. Redstone dust here. Then we can remove this and place repeaters here. More blocks. More redstone dust. The sticky pistons here. And grass on their faces. We actually require 2 more slime blocks and some honey and a honey block. So we can go ahead and place these in here, and then grass here. And believe it or not, that's actually all you need to do. It's a really simple conversion process. And if we go and test things out by once again placing a block and putting a button on it, you can see that it opens up into the pathway that we all know and love. And of course, it's hidden itself. All looks normal. So there is one final bit to today's video, and that is simply the activation mechanism. I'm not one of those people to give you guys a cool redstone contraption and not give you every applicable thing for it. So we're just going to head on over here where I actually have the activation mechanism. And this is the bit I showed you earlier with the shovels and the hose. So if we actually get those back, I'm just going to get the shovel for now because those kind of suck. And as you can see, it works as it should. So what actually happens is that this block is normally solid, which means that these repeaters are powered by the redstone torch. They actually depower this redstone torch, which keeps the piston retracted. As soon as we either pave it or chill it, it turns into a transparent block. So then these are no longer powered, which give this a chance to power, which extends the piston, turning this block back into dirt, as you can see there. But also while it does that, it gives a redstone output. And this is what we use to activate the doors. And what I did in the example is have a 4 wide like this. If we just press each of these, we can see the redstone actually fires as it should. So yeah, let's actually build this on the actual door. To do this, we're going to use these materials. These are actually the materials you need to build one module of this. I'm sorry, 4 modules. To build one module, you need these: sticky piston, redstone dust, 2 repeaters, 2 torches, 2 grass blocks, and 4 blocks from choice. So yeah, let's come on over, and I can show you guys how to make this. The area doesn't really matter, but if you really want to know, it's just a 5x4. And to start things off, we're going to have 8 blocks here, redstone repeaters facing away in this area here, 4 redstone torches, grass on top of each of them, and then 8 blocks here. And place another 4 redstone torches on top, and some redstone dust. Finally, we get 4 sticky pistons, then 4 grass blocks. And that is the activation mechanism all done. Now, it's just a matter of connecting this into the door, which is actually easy enough. All you have to do is make a giant snake of blocks to the door. So we do that like this. Make sure that the signal strength is powerful enough to actually reach the door. And to do that, all you really have to do is add a couple of repeaters here and there. I'm just going to put one here and another one here. So now, if we go along and do this, we can see the door open. I would assume. Okay, don't put a repeater off the edge of a block. That shouldn't be like this. Alright, 3rd time's a charm. There we go. Now it opens like normal. If we were to go on inside, we can then actually simulate it being an actual base by putting blocks here and pressure plates on top. So if we pretend that we're actually in our base and we want to leave, we can do so. We step on the pressure plates, and then the door will open. You can walk out, and in due time this will all turn back into grass, looking completely unsuspicious. I mean, if you really wanted to hide it, you could just put a couple of sheep around and it looked like they were eating away at the dirt. But it really doesn't matter that much. Not many players will look at that and go, yeah, you'll be fine, he says. Alright, that actually just about wraps everything up. That's all I really needed to include in this video. So, now comes the part where I give the generic Minecraft YouTuber outro. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed, hope you found this at least helpful. And if you're actually rich enough to make any of these doors, I hope you do. Like, they clearly aren't cheap, but they're absolutely incredible. I find them to be really interesting, because, like, you know, the 3x3 doors that hide, you don't see that very often, and secret bases are honestly just really interesting. So, yeah, with all that said, this actually did take me a good amount of time to create. I'm assuming I have even more things to do now that I have to actually edit this, you know, ramshackled, I don't know. I can't even describe it anymore. I am very tired. Leave a like, subscribe if you really want to. I upload never, so my subscription feed won't be a problem to anyone. And hey, if you have any criticisms, leave them in the comments. If you don't, comment anyway. I probably will keep a pretty good eye on your comments. At least a better eye than to keep on my email. So yeah, with that done, bye.